Wookie Wookie. Hello. And Tonic Gia, Tonic Gia, hello. Wookie Wookie says, I have a question. Well, that's why you're here. But before that, guys, remember the protocol. Male, female, what your gender is, your age, and where you're tuning in from. So 3 codes, M, F, or whatever it is, and then age, and then the country where you're at. Is the sound okay? And you guys can hear me all right? Thank you, Wookie Wookie. This is male 20 UK, Durham. Welcome. And he says, I feel so depressed. I'm in my finals for my last year of my degree. I'm studying for my deadline on Monday. And my anxiety is killing me. I'm having really dark thoughts. Well, I don't know what your anxiety is all about, and I don't know what your dark thoughts are about. But in general, thoughts want to replace reality. And because it's created in your head, so to speak, in your consciousness, you give it credibility because it is coming from within you and you find yourself a credible person. So when your thoughts appear in your head, or reflection of a certain knowledge turns into thought, you tend to believe that as truth. There's a difference between reality and truth. Thought is a reality because you thought of it and it's happening at that moment. You're involved in its happening, but it is not truth. It is just a process, material process, a derivative of the information accumulated in the consciousness. All that information are sitting in their pigeonholes. They are in the memory. They are in the consciousness. But like this storm in the desert, where it scoop up every sand, every piece, every bit of sand, and brings them all in the air, make them seem present, make them have certain kind of a existence, presence to your eyes. You become aware of their presence. Otherwise, until then, they were just sitting on the floor and the ground, and you were walking on them. And they were in different holes and different caves, and nobody cared. When the wind comes, it lifts everything up, and you think, oh, there is new things happening. No, these are the same shit that was sitting on the ground. And they never meant anything, you were walking on them. Same thing with thoughts. They have been in the consciousness as fragments and different bits and pieces of knowledge accumulated in the form of memory, stored in consciousness. Now, from this accumulation, you somehow pick up on 1 or 2 or this and that, irrelevant to truth or anything. Because it just happened, because you just noticed it for one reason or another, you think it's a new thing, it has come to birth, and if it has come to birth, reality as it happened, it must be true because it didn't exist. It came to existence because it's true. Not at all. it was just like sand sitting around there, and it just got lifted up with the sandstorm. That's all. Thoughts are all over the consciousness. They just happen to be lifted off, and you notice them. And now you think it's the same as the truth. No, it's a reality that a thought has come to your attention. But thought is stupid, has no truth necessarily to it. But it wants to replace the truth. It wants to replace the actuality. And you by mistake think it is truth just because it's real. Yeah, it's real because it's a thought. It just came about. So it's reality. But it's not an actuality. It's not a truth. Thought is just that. Thought. Means nothing, has no credibility, and is as stupid as a donkey. I mean, donkey is very smart, actually. Stand to be corrected. It's just stupid as stupid can be. But you get fooled by it because it happened to come to your notice from within. If it was from the outside, you would judge it. But it's because from the within, the reflection of it comes to create a certain picture. The idea of that thought becomes pictorial, because that's how we comprehend things. And that pictorial represent to you factuality, factual, truth. Don't fall for that shit. Nothing further than the truth. So, on that note, focus on the damn schooling thing. Get the final exam done. Go live your life. Thought is not a perfect apparatus. Thought is a factory of creating illusions. It's a reflection of certain knowledge accumulated in the consciousness. But there is no truth to it. It's just an idea. Idea is not a truth. It just comes to your notice. Now, if you act on it and bring it to reality, create that model, whatever it is, pictorial that you have in your head, then maybe you can say, oh, now it's an actuality. But thought has no truth to it. All right. Wookie wookie. I hope that will be helpful to you. Now, let's see. If I wasted my breath and you were actually looking for a different tangent. Wookie wookie says, I know what you mean. I feel like the wind has been there for a while now. Since around October last year, for family reasons and deadlines, and it just feels like it's too much, and I lash out because I'm terrified to fail. Oh, don't be terrified to fail. There is no failure. There is no such thing as failure. Just answer me one thing. Would you have known more about the subjects before you studied or after you take the exam? After your studies. So regardless of what grade somebody decides this is worth or not, you have not failed. You have gained in knowledge, recorded in your consciousness. Can come handy this time, next time, sometime, whatever in life, or never. But the knowledge that you spend your time to accumulate, it has, at least to some percentage, is far more than before you started studying. So there is no failure. The failure comes when they compare this with that. But in reality, you will not fail. You have gained already. So the fact that you have gained already should put you at ease. These failure and this and that is the opinion of somebody. It's just the way the rules are for you to go up in the different level or whatever. But do not be afraid of failure, because first of all, it is not a failure. And secondly, it doesn't help. All you have to do is just read, do your best. When you have done your best, whatever you could, when you go to the exam, sit there and say, I did my best, and I don't give a shit what it's come out to. I'm just going to relax now, enjoy, and do it. Whatever comes, it comes. That's all you can do. If you want to take the burden of the result of the things, well, gee, we shouldn't have even been born, because we never know what the result would be according to the standards that somebody else puts on it. So forget all that shit. Doesn't matter. You just do your best. Try to understand the topics, the subjects. Do your best in preparing. That's all. Do not give a shit about failing. You are not you cannot fail because you've already gained. That's that. The rest of it is just to relax. Go sit at the test. Do your best. That's all. Whatever happens, happens. Life is short. It's not worth thinking about these things so much. What failure? Are you kidding? You've been conditioned to think these things are failure, those things are winning. It's all bullshit. All right. I want you to go focus, enjoy, come up with different way of learning it, relax with it, take a break, read again, take a break, read again, take a break, read again, and don't give a shit about the outcome. And go there, sit there, confident, say, okay, I'll do my best. I'll see what happens. I'm going to have fun, whatever. I'm going to figure it out. That's it. Be loose a little bit. Don't be so uptight. All right. Let's see. Majid says, Salam Mehran, you're back. Yes, it is geared for Australia and places like that. My nighttime live talks are geared for different time zones. But at this time, it looks like it's going to be okay for almost everywhere. North America, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, India, Hong Kong. I think this would be the right time. Especially on weekends, I mean. Majid says, I'm finding myself to be very lonely. Not many friends, and I'm finding life hard, as I'd rather have friends and not be lonely. Well, because you've been conditioned to think life is in friends. You haven't learned to befriend with nature, with life itself. You haven't been able to become aware of the presence of the universe, presence of the energy. You will see that you are not alone. Absolutely not. But we have been conditioned to think that unless we're with another physical body, friends, playmates, then we are lonely. We are alone. As what we are living in is not part of the environment that we're living in. There has to be another thing for us not to be alone. A living entity, where what we are actually swimming in is a living entity. Energy is what gives us the actual life. But we are not aware of it. It's like fish is not aware of the water that it's swimming in it. It's oblivious to the water. It's just doing its thing. But it is the water that gives it life. Same thing with us. We are swimming in energy. Yet we are oblivious to it, and we think if there's not another human being here, I must be lonely. While we are all being fed and supported by that energy that we are oblivious to it. But you're conditioned to be with friends. We're like wolves. We like to be in a pack. But you know what? It doesn't work to be friends with people who are really not of the standards that you hope for. They all have different consciousnesses. And eventually it'll be just a useless spend of time. Unless you find qualified friends, friends who are positive, have something going for them in life, they're living a positive life, they're active in something positive, they have plans, they have goals, then that would be a good group or good combination, good exchange of energy, good contact. So be aware. It's all conditioning. You can change that conditioning by finding the things that you love, that you like to do. And when you're doing those things that you like and you love, you find people who are actually in the same thing and sharing those interests. Perhaps that would be possibly a good starting with finding a good friend. While, mind you, just because somebody's got few things in common with you doesn't mean he's qualified or she's qualified to be your friend. You will have to have your own measuring stick. But at least it would be a starting point, something to find in common with. Find things that you like. Find things that you really enjoy and you think you will gain something from them. If you only do one thing, let's say just going to the gym and your work, then it will be limiting. And if one day, let's say, you don't feel good, you're not up to it to go to the gym, then you feel lonely because that one thing that was creating your mechanical process is now out of that day's schedule. So bring about a few things that you like to be engaged in, whether it's watching a movie or, I don't know, playing chess or some sports or gym or researching something, learning something, or whether it's your projects, whatever it is, just figure them out and create more mechanical processes for you during the day. So if one thing you don't feel like doing, you don't quickly go into the lonely, oh, I'm not doing that and there's nothing else that I would want to do, therefore I'm lonely, because then you feel it. But as long as you're busy making an effort in something, whatever that thing is, you don't feel lonely because you're with your energy, with your exchange of the energy, with your efforts. And that efforts makes it very clear for you that you're not lonely because your energy is being spent on something that you're focused on. You find yourself lonely when you're focusing on not doing something or not being active in something or not making an effort or not being with somebody, a friend. But when you're actually doing something and exchanging that energy, making that effort, your focus is on that. Therefore, your focus is not on being lonely, possibly. That's not how you will see it. Life is an illusion. Reality is the illusion that you focus on. So we can all be lonely if we are not focusing on the things that we like. But if we are focusing on the things that we like and we're spending energy and efforts on that, then our focus is on that. Therefore, we are not focusing on anything else, including possibly not having friends or being lonely. Then that illusion will not come to be a reality. Otherwise, all of us can be lonely. Or none of us could be lonely. Depends on what you're focusing on. You feel lonely because you're focusing on it. Don't focus on it. Focus on other things. Hardly you will feel lonely until you find suitable friends. Then, of course, that's a different stage of life. Whether you focus it or not, you have replaced it with some live entity, and then you won't feel lonely. But until then, focus on things that you like to do and focus on the efforts that you make to make them, to bring them to fruition. Hope that would be a start. Wookie Wookie says, thank you so much. I appreciate these. Other people have equally as pressing question. Other people have equally as pressing question, but hearing it from you, I really interact with people and I feel I am an introvert, but it's what my studies demand. Yeah, don't worry, you'll do fine. Stop worrying. Worrying does not make things change. You think if you worry the worst and think of the worst, then the worst definitely would say, oh, he's alert, and therefore I will not. It's your fear of the worst that you create your focus, you train your focus on it because you're so afraid of it. You want to be alert about it. It's like somebody says, there is some shadow behind that wall. It's an illusion. You never saw it. Somebody suggested it. You bought into the suggestion. Now you're constantly taking postures of defense. Why? Just in case. Because you want to be aware, to do good. So it's your defense mechanism that makes you afraid because it knows that you really want to do good on this. Like it's important to you. So it makes you think about it and be afraid of it. And so you will be aware of it and do your best instead. But that doesn't mean that you keep thinking about it and not do your best because you're busy thinking about it. It's just about to, kind of poise you to be aware of that possibility, therefore countering it by actually making the efforts that you're supposed to make. But be cool about it. Don't be frightened about it. It's your defense mechanism that has come to work and wants you to succeed. It's a way to help you to succeed. That's how you should look at it. It's not actually telling you that you will fail. It's telling you, hey, do your best. I'm here for you. I'm afraid for you, which means I'm going to make you sharp. And if you put the time into it, then we've done it as best as we could. Then you go and take your test, regardless of what happens. And it'll be fine. Don't worry. Just learn the damn thing. Don't be afraid of it. You're the boss. That's a piece of book. Can't be afraid of it. Just read them 100 times if you have to. You'll learn them. And you show that who the boss is. Yeah, you will. You will. Don't worry. You will. Yes, you have the ton. But as long as you focus on how much is left, you'll be devastated. Just focus on how much you've read. And if you haven't read anything, just keep reading. Don't look how much is left. Just keep reading page after page. Focus, focus, focus on what you want to accomplish, not on what hasn't been accomplished. Just keep doing it. Trust me, I've been there. It'll work. Sometimes we sat in the groups just the night before the test and we just made the book into segments and we said, you read those chapters, you read those chapters, you read those chapters, and 2 hours from now, 3 hours from now, we all get together and then we give the summary to each other. That was history. We never really liked it, so now do it for yourself. Read a chapter and do a summary of it. Read the next chapter, do a summary of it. Make a note of the summaries. Chapter 1, summaries were these. Chapter 2, summaries were these. Chapter 23, do a summary to yourself. A presentation, short, paragraph or two, and make notes of it. Then, at the end of it, you'll see there are 50 chapters and you have 50 notes, and each may be few lines. So the whole thing would be like maybe, I don't know, 100 lines, 10 pages. Then you review the 10 pages a couple of times, you're good to go. Go for it. Enjoy it. It's the best time of your life. These times don't come back. Just read it, present it to yourself, make notes, summarize the chapter, then read the summaries, then read the summaries, then read the summaries. Did I say to read the summaries? Then read the summaries and read one more time the summaries and you're ready to go. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine. We all went through it. Now it's your turn. It's your time. Go to it. I can now watch. I don't have to do it anymore. No, you're not going to let anybody down. Remember, all these feelings come in order to make you sharper. It's not a suggestion that you will fail. It's just the security system of your brain is just trying to poise you to do your best. That's all. That's why these thoughts come in there. So go to it. Don't worry about it. Focus on what you're learning. Picture what you're reading. Focus on it, picture on it, turn it into a story, then do a presentation of it for yourself at the end of the chapter. Next chapter, write notes, and that's it. Then you review those notes. Don't worry, you'll be okay. Just do it right. Do your best. No. You don't need to try to be strong. It's just a simple thing. You gotta take breaks. You gotta have a schedule. Okay, I get up, I start studying, I take a break at this time, and from now till this time I should have finished 3 chapters. I take a break, or 5 chapters, I take a break, I eat something, I get on with it again, do a little bit of calisthenics, and then now I should have these 5 chapters, and then I'll take a break. Maybe I'll have pizza. Aha! For the love of pizza, you will then do a best job. And you have a schedule for it, increments, and also break times. Break times. Right now could be a 15, 20 minutes break times. Don't feel guilty. Sometimes you need to relax, to let all these sandstorm settle. That's why rest, relaxation, meditation, positive thinking, and take advantage of this alarm that your brain has brought to your attention. It scares you. That's good. That means you'll be more focused. No warrior who is never scared will do good at the battle. We are sharpened because we are scared. Look at these samurais. They're scared, but they're calm. So being scared is okay. That makes you poised, sharper. So don't worry about it. That's your defense mechanism. Enjoy it. Take advantage of it. And just study well. Enjoy what you're studying. Do what I suggested. It'll be helpful. All right. Now, Chinu says, Namaste Mehran. Namaste Chinu. Hi all. Chinu 29 from India. Oh yeah. It's Sunday. It's morning. And we're actually about 10:30, 11 Sunday, so we should have some people from India joining us. Kenny Tai says, hi Mehran, I'm about 10 months no contact. Kenny, is it the first time you're here? Looks like it is. And I appreciate you being here. Welcome. But I want you to know we have a protocol, and that means you got to tell me if you're a male, female, or whatever your gender is, and how old you are, and where you're tuning in from. So we'll have a little bit of information about you, so I can kind of tailor make the response that you might be asking me to make in response to your questions. So we'll wait for that very quickly, and then we go on. I'll take a sip. Ty says, thanks. Oh, sorry, male 34 from New York City. Oh, New York City. So, Kenny Tai, what's your background? Kenny, you born in the United States? Reason I ask is because when I want to respond to you, I want to consider your cultural backgrounds as much as I can tell and know about it. It will probably help the direction I would want to take to deliver maybe my comments. So going back to Kenny's question, and Kenny, have you subscribed? I ask you guys, there's just 9 of us here. Please click on like if you like so far. And if you wouldn't mind, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. So Kenny says, I'm Chinese born and raised in the US, but have some traditions. All right, good. I understand. Now, what about your girlfriend? Okay, thank you, Kenny. And your girlfriend, is she also of Chinese descent? And how old is she? These are some of the information that could help me, and or where is she from? Let's see. And he says, Kenny says, my ex was from El Salvador, 32. All right. El Salvador, 32 versus Kenny, 34. No? Yeah? Is it? Where is it? Yeah, Kenny, 34, New York City. All right. So let's go to Kenny's question. Kenny says, hey Mehran, I am about 10 months no contact. We were supposed to get married. Yeah, that's the case. Last year, but broke it off. And also found out she was talking to someone behind my back. I still have a lot of anger. Yeah, well, every one of us does. We are men, heterosexual men. We still have that caveman attitude, which there's not wrong with it. We should have it. And that makes us a little bit kind of feel like, me, not good as the other one? You, my woman, been talking to someone else, which means I'm not as good as that someone else. Why would you be talking with somebody else if I'm here? I'm the best. Rah, rah, rah. That's how we're all conditioned. Or it's just in our DNA. We feel that the affirmation of a woman and the attention of a woman to us is very important, and that's a way for us to know how good we are, which is of course a mistake, but that's how we've been conditioned to think how important that is. So your feelings are not necessarily truth, they're reaction to your conditioning. Understand what I'm saying. Your feelings are reality because they're happenings and you're feeling it, but they're not truth. They're reflection and reaction to your conditioning that you've received based on some of it in our genes, heterosexual male, that's our programmer, since 1,000 years ago, and how it's been, how we've been, our ancestors thought about it and so on until we got it also, and also the conditionings that we received from the societies and communities we've been raised in, such as cultural stuff, customs, traditions, and so on. So if you understand that, then you will understand that you're being angry for an illusion. Don't have to be angry. I'm angry because I'm conditioned to be angry in such situations. But I don't have to be. Why am I angry? Why should I think that somebody that she's talked to has anything to do with me, my qualities, or my values? What does that have anything to do with anything? It's just the same as the example that we used a few days ago. You go to imagine a jewelry store, and there are a few different stones are used to make a ring, the same design, the same ring. One of them has diamond, one of them has cubic zirconium, one of them has crystal, one of them has glass. They're all cut and shaped the same, colored the same. Now, just because somebody comes in and chooses the crystal, that because he doesn't understand the difference between crystal and doesn't know quality, he doesn't have the know-how, he doesn't have the knowledge, he doesn't have the expertise to tell which one is diamond, and he can't appreciate that understanding and chooses the crystal, the ring that used crystal glass on it, does that suddenly diminish the value of the diamond ring? No, it doesn't. It just means this guy is so easy, so oblivious to these things. You can't tell. Therefore, his level of understanding is that much, and his level of expectation is that much. That doesn't mean his choice would diminish the value of the better thing. Same thing. Her choice of talking to someone else or being with someone else, whatever the hell it is, doesn't diminish the value of who you are, your importance, your character, your qualities, all that. Who died and left her in charge to pass on the credits and the value and worth of yours? Who? You're the only person who can determine your value by the things you accomplish in this life, by the contribution you make to the society and communities. This is the same for all of us. Whatever our gender is, we are evaluated and judged based on our contribution to the society, how we positively affect the community and the societies we live in, what we bring to make this life a little better place for everyone on earth. This is our value, how our values are determined. Not about this girl choosing me or not, or that person become my friend or not. So if you understand that, your anger is conditioning, is a reaction, a conditional reaction. So if that was the case, all the girls that you didn't choose, they should go and cry because you didn't choose them, so their value should actually diminish. Does it? No. And all the other girls that you don't know, but all the other girls that chose another guy, that should mean your value by now has been diminished by every other choice that they made, which means zilch, yeah? Is that true? Of course not. People have different taste and understanding, expectation and standards. Just because someone's taste and understanding and deserving is this, has nothing to do with who you are, what you have accomplished, what your worth and value is. But you're conditioned to think so. And you're following your conditioning, not actuality, not truth. So, what you're feeling anger for because you're conditioned to think that way, but that is not the truth. You're not necessarily have to. Kenny says 5 years just don't know how to move on. Oh, gee, are you kidding me? You're 34. In about 10 years, you'll be at top of your game. Right now, you're still just so young and so many girls available to you. At age 34, you should choose someone 27, 28 years old. Perfect. Not younger. 27, 28 years old. Yeah? So, and there's so many wonderful girls around. So, simmer down. Don't allow in this short life things like this put a damper on your life and limit your abilities to advance and do and live the way you want. These are just personal desires and personal preferences of someone. Who is that someone? That someone is trying to find her way in through life. Or are you telling me that she came from some wonderful place with all kind of wisdom, that she doesn't need anything, and she's the decision maker about everybody else's worth and value? Of course not. But you cannot separate the pleasure that she may give you and the idea that you have created by marrying her and the images that the others have created in their heads by you guys have decided to get married. And you condition yourself for that. And now that is not happening, you think something really bad has happened. Nothing has happened. It's just like you never made that arrangement. What has happened to you? What? Has your nose been kind of chopped off, or your ears are shorter, or that thing fell off? No. Everything is the same as all the time it was. But you think you should now be, something. No. Obviously, she didn't deserve it. Look, why would you ever want to be with someone who's not paying attention to you? Why would you ever want to pay attention to someone who's not paying attention to you? She is not qualified for your attention. So on that note, free yourself from these thoughts that you have to pay attention to her. Why? Because you're trying to cuddle up your memory. You want to have a relationship with the memory of the stuff that you've had in these 5 years. You don't have to. Go make new memories. That person didn't deserve it. Simple. Just grow a pair. Don't follow them around. If they had the chance, you were a good guy, decent guy, and they still change their mind, let them go. Next. And he says, I was blindsided. What do you mean blindsided? No, you're lucky that you saw it now. That means she was not of quality. Oh, did you still want to marry her, then find out a year or two later that she's just talking to somebody else? What's that? No, go count your stars, celebrate. So thank God, thank you. Somebody must like me up there. I figured it out before marriage. Oh, that's good. Well, I wish her well. To each his own. Go ahead, enjoy your life. And I will go and find somebody that I can actually feel deserves me. And I will deserve her. Yeah, don't miss your life together. If she can do it, damn well you can do it. If she has no respect for what you guys had spent and exchanged the energy in that all that years, then you shouldn't either. Forget it. Move on. It's your own exchange of energy with her that you're trying to grab on. Otherwise, what she has done is not appropriate. So disqualifies her. So disqualify her, move on. Simple. Have a little respect for yourself. All those memories are all dead. They can't bring anything for you. Don't hang on to them and try to save those memories by trying to bring her back. No, she missed her chance. She's not qualified anymore, and she didn't expect the quality that you have, and she doesn't deserve to have the person with your quality. Simple. That's how you should think of it. Look, it's very simple. No ifs and buts about it. Move on. Move on, buddy. You'll be fine. You're just 34 years old. Go find another gorgeous thing. There's so many wonderful ones. And you know, you're Chinese descent? Find a Chinese girl. I think they're so good looking. So, they've got lots of class and they're good looking. Find a girl you like. But you know what? Don't lose the sight of Chinese girls. All right. Yeah, betrayal. What? Betrayal is actually an eye-opener. Betrayal is good to know before you actually commit yourself to something. It's exactly like if you're buying something at the store and you say, I would like to have 1 kilo of that, I don't know, flour, let's say, that you want to bake bread with. And you just notice that the guy is actually in the back while, you know, weighing the flour, is using a, I don't know, in the old style, and there were two sides to the balance. They would put the merchandise on one side and they would put certain kind of a weight with numbers written on it. A iron pieces of weight written 1 kilo or 2 kilo or 1.5 kilo. And as, imagine that's the apparatus they're using. And as the guy is putting the, you know, pouring the flour on this side of the balance, you see that he puts a 2 kilo metal iron. Just about to put it there, you see that underneath the weight is hollow. Around it, you can't see, it says 2 kilo, but inside is hollow. It's about 0.5 kilo less. So you figure that out and say, hey, before I pay you, I saw it. So you call that betrayal. But you found that out before you paid the guy. So the same thing, you call that betrayal, but it's actually no. A helping hand has shown you that you were almost about to make a mistake. So it's a reason to celebrate. You got to think of it this way. Somebody took care of you, brought it to your attention, made this happen before, and that's cool. Come on, go on, find some real nice personality, good persona, good person, good consciousness, and that would be your girl. And Kenny says, definitely feeling better. Thank you so much, Mehran. You're quite welcome. Just don't forget what I said. The resonation of what I just said should stay with you. If you have to watch this tape again once I upload it again, not that you just say, but, because you can't, if you can't separate the pleasure that she would bring with you as a female, the sex and intimacy and all that, from the actual girl, the person, then you won't be able to get over this. All of you, if you cannot separate the pleasure, the sex, the intimacy, the physical intimacy that that girl represents, your ex-girlfriend represents, with the actuality of what the girlfriend is all about, which is in her consciousness, that is the person that you're actually getting married or having a relationship with, so to speak. But if you can't separate the two, then you think you are actually having a relationship with the pleasure, with the intimacy. And that's going to be hard to let go. That's why it's hard for you to let go. But when you separate them, say, holy shit, that part, the intimacy and all that, I can get it from any other beautiful girl or the girl that meets my standards. That's a physical thing. That has nothing to do with the character of the person. And the character of the person, whatever it was, good or bad or a mixture, well, this last move, that's a checkmate. That tells me that whatever it was, that ruins it. I don't want to be with a girl who has that flaw of disloyalty with me. Right now, at the outset, guess what it would be a few years into it? So, go count your stars. Go be happy and look for some Chinese hottie. There are lots of them around. And educated, kind, good, so. Or from any nationality, but not this one. From her nationality as well, there are wonderful girls out there, but not this one. Why? Because she just showed you. What are you waiting for? You just got the whole truth of it by the actions. All right. Muhammad says, good evening, uncle. Male 29 from the Arab accumulation. No, the next one would be from Arab Sands. See, I just gave you one. I'm getting ready to leave to work, but I saw the notification on my desktop. Yes, it's morning. It's not for you. It's for the Australians and so on. You got it. But what? Isn't it Sunday? Are you not? I thought Saturday and Sunday is off as well. No, Friday is off at your neck of the work. I know that. So Sunday, I guess, is not. That's right. Okay. So I feel happy and lightened when I see you. Thank you, Muhammad. All respect and glory to you. Thank you. Thank you, Muhammad. Love and hugs from me to you, and thank you, Muhammad. I will watch the video during the break. Okay. Good. Have a nice day. And let's see. We have now Sunny. Sunny says, one of two. Hi, Mehran. Hello, Sunny. 31 male on. Oh, means Ontario. 31 male Ontario. Why do some people take breakups so easily and the rest of us so hard? Well, it's usually hard. It's not that easy. And the ones who take it easy because they were ready for it, I guess. And, you know, it's not easy, but it should be easy when we really know how to think about it. It is not easy because we don't separate the intimacy and the pleasure of being with a girl from what the girl is all about and how that persona is. We think the two are one and the same. It's not. It's not. All right. Tonight is a bit chilly. Haha. Oops. We are living up to the Canadian customs. We have to be frozen. All right. So, And he says, why do some people take breakups so easily and the rest of us so hard? I know my ex isn't researching breakup videos and watching videos about it at night, because she probably made the decision to break up the relationship. No? Was it mutual, or she was the initiator? Whoever is the initiator will not be having much of a problem. Will have their regular days in life that they have in mind, and they continue. The one who didn't know it, didn't expect it, didn't want it, that's the one who's going to have a little bit of a hard time. And those are my flock. They come here. So, salut. I'm drinking chamomile tea, chamomile, from Stash. Ta-da! It's pretty good. I had run out of tea last night, and after the gym last night, I stopped by the supermarket, and there were different kinds, and I remember Stash was a good tea, so I got a couple of boxes, so I'm all stocked up for a while. And Sunny says, 2 of 2. How can she take it so easily while I am sitting here trying to learn how to even function? Well, because again, as I mentioned, you think of her as pleasure, sex. You don't separate the intimacy, the feeling, the emotions, the pleasure that you get from being in a relationship with her from who she is, how she is, her energy, her actions, her behavior, her consciousness, all of that. You think it's one and the same, as I mentioned before. Do you think it has something to do with early childhood upbringing? No! Stop that shit. Every one of you, everything goes wrong in your life. Oh, it does have to do with my child. No, there was nothing wrong with your childhood. Go on. Childhood is gone, is dead. You're not even being threatened by anything or affected by anything that may have happened at childhood, whether in school you were bullied or whatever. It's all dead. It's all memory. You're a grown-up person now, strong, and nobody can bother you. And if something that you can't deal with it personally, well, there'll, always, whether you can't deal with it personally or not, there's always law of the land, authorities, and legal systems, and you're protected all over. There's nothing to worry about as far as these sort of things is concerned. So childhood has nothing to do with it. You're all fine, perfectly fine. You just can't forget, that. And you will, given time. So don't worry. Well, that was fast. Looks like we don't have any more questions. So I guess I'll have a couple of sips of tea and perhaps call it off. It's been already 55 minutes. That was a good session. I got a note from YouTube telling me that one of my videos hit 10,000, and I don't know what to do with it. So he sent me a note and says, okay, now hit 10,000, you should celebrate or post it. I don't know what that really means. So I don't know what to post it, what it means, what to do with it. So these are my shortcomings. Helen Olskaya says, hello Mehran, good to see you again. Hello Helen. Hello Helen, I mean, not hello, Helen, you forgot to let us know where you're tuning in from last night. You escaped with that information withheld. So, we need 3 things: gender, age, and where you're tuning in from. No, you're not late. I'll wait until that. We'll wait for you. Figure out what part of the world you're living at so we can know a little bit about your cultural background. And Olskaya, tell me, perhaps Russian? Possibly? Really? Female, 45 USA. So that Olskaya is not your last name then. It is just a screen name. There we go. All right then. So, now perhaps we wait a few minutes, have a few sips of tea. Maybe others will find us, because we are gearing these evening shows for people from different time zones. As I mentioned, like Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Hong Kong, Middle East, India, and that neck of the wood, which they usually can't connect with us at the 12:30 noon. Hopefully my site is almost ready, and eventually this programmer of mine eventually will have enough time or give some importance to my work. He's always busy with his other projects and his other work. So I'm kind of don't have the priority, unfortunately. So that's why it's taken so long. So hopefully we will talk tomorrow. We were supposed to talk today and get some things fixed up, and tomorrow I'll see how far we've gone, and then hopefully there will be things that I think it needs to be fixed and modified, and maybe in a week or two we'll have a new site going. That would be good. Yes, Helen. Yes, because I figured since it's a low budget production, I don't have the garçon to run around and bring me tea, fresh tea. So I came prepared. Brought a jug this time. So I will not run out of tea so easily this time. See? Ingenious. You noticed that, didn't you? Gel Adriano, that's Angelica, right? Let's see. Okay, good, Helen. So Angelica says, hello Mehran, hope you don't get tired doing these Q&As. Not really, actually. I love them. I actually do enjoy them. The only thing that bothers me is just my back is still not 100%. That's all from that stupid fall. So I went to the gym last night. I did some back work, and it kind of hurts a little bit more now. So other than that, at this moment, no, I love doing this. Actually, it's very enjoyable for me. I mean, that's the way it is, very enjoyable. Now, hopefully it will help us to reach more people around the world from time zones that they usually don't, get to see us or participate. And then hopefully we'll attract more attention to what we have here. And we'll have more subscribers. And about, I don't know, 80 or 90 years from now, we'll have about 1 million subscribers, and we'll be economically viable. And so until then, the show must go on. No, I thoroughly enjoy it. Actually, I plan on going to Hawaii within the next month or so. or maybe a couple of months from now. I'm trying to make the dates known to me, and I would like to do some live talks for you guys from there, and so that'll be fun. So we'll have perhaps a different environment, brings maybe a different mood to you all, and perhaps, you know, that would be something new. And of course, we are focusing on expanding our topics. As you know, I'm using this forum, this trick of breakups, in order to introduce to you the discussions on fragments of the consciousness, talking about ego, its role in who we are, how we function, we act and react in our daily lives, desire, pleasure, fear, thoughts, consciousness, all these things that have made us to be who we are, things that makes us tick. I'm trying to share all that knowledge through the venue, the forum of this breakup, emotional hardships that you go on, because it's very common among everybody around the world. So perhaps that would be, you know, something that everybody finds interesting. But we are now really going to change the channel, hopefully, as soon as I'm permitted to change it. I think I can't do it more than once every 3 months, so I got to wait a while. But we're going to make it so that everybody could come in for a talk about any subject that they like it to be. And if I have something to say about it, then of course, by all means. But mostly it will be going around who we are, how we're put together, our reactions, our reflections, and what makes us reflect the way we do. All those interesting talks and discussions will be there, plus things about relationships, breakups, and how to handle them, how to move on, as we have already done. We just expand the topics. So make it open for everyone to join us, not just the people who are, you know, dealing with breakups, because maybe that's one of the reasons we don't have so many subscribers, because people are kind of shy to let others know that they're signing up or subscribing to a breakup cure channel. Although nobody knows that they have, but somehow maybe psychologically they, I don't know, they don't find it, they don't find the, I don't know, the title so interesting or something. So, having said all that, Angelica says, seems like you've been doing it multiple times a day the past few days. Just Friday I did 2 times. See, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, usually I'm hoping and trying to have a 12:30 p.m. Vancouver time live talks. But on Friday nights, I also will throw in a night live streaming, because then at nighttime it will be daytime of many other places in the world, and we can maybe reach other people. And Saturday nights I'll do the same, because the next day is Sunday. Again, it's holiday for them, so maybe they will join us. But usually not during the week, unless, you know, I really think it's a, you know, possibly I feel like I should do it. Sunny says, Mehran, before you call it a night, can you speak a few words about adapting to the single life after living with someone? I've never felt so alone in my life, and I'm not ready to date again. All right. I feel like I know what I need to do every day to fix the loneliness, but have a hard time implementing the right actions each day. Yes, because when you feel that way, you kind of get depressed. When you get depressed, you just want to cuddle. That's your security zone. You don't want to extend energy, you want to keep that energy in you. But the problem is when you keep the energy in and don't let it to have conflux interchange with the universal energy that flows from one end of the universe to the other end of the universe, and on its way passes through you and replenishes you, if you keep that energy cooped up and don't let it have interchange and conflux with that flowing energy, then you will be like a kitchen that just finished cooking. All that smoke is there, not enough energy. Unless you open the window and let this smoke go out and the fresh air to come in, it won't be a wonderful environment there. You won't feel that good. While it feels good and lazy to be there because there's not enough energy to get up and do something, because the energy is not fresh, is already kind of stale, kind of settled. Because you're depressed, the energy is kind of settled in you, rather than giving that bounce that you need and get you going and do stuff. So you sit there and cuddle with yourself, feel sorry for yourself, because that feels secure. And even if you don't really put yourself in the fetal position, but you kind of feel like you want to be cuddling yourself. And since nobody's around, you cuddle yourself. That's what usually people go on the rebound relationships. They just hope somebody will pay attention to them and, you know, put their head in their hands on their head and say, oh, there, you'll be fine, and cuddle them. And then they kind of fall in love with that girl. And that's a rebound. But in this case, if you understand the analogy that I used, you be sure that if you get your ass up and actually go to the gym, if you go to the gym, if you know how to exercise, and this is not my suggestion, but if that is part of your routine, then go do a light exercise for yourself. The dopamine that is created, the oxytocin, serotonin, opioid, and all these that is naturally secreted from your brain into your system, brings a good mood and defeats that depression and counters that feeling, that depression due to relationship breakdown, not a clinical depression, because I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose any of that, so I don't want to be in any misunderstanding. So then it counters that kind of a low mood, and you feel good about yourself. You feel you like to eat, you want to watch a movie, and you're good. And if you do that every time, that exchange of energy, that opening the window and letting the smoke go out and fresh air coming, it will help you to actually understand what your balance really is. Because what you're sitting there and cuddling yourself, that's not a balance. You know that you're being, you know, low mood, you're feeling depressed. So you got to get up and do something about it. And you don't have to go out. You just need to be doing something positive and enjoy yourself. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Nothing bad has happened. The fact that you're not used to it. Now, what happens after a breakup, especially when you've been living with someone, well, first of all, you are accustomed to have a certain kind of a mechanical process. Both of you. You'd get up, you each do certain things, have your, I don't know, coffee or tea or breakfast, have a certain routine, a certain norm of getting ready and certain things to happen before you guys go to your works or whatever it is, school, whatever. And then you go to your work or you go to about your day, and then during the day you text. These are other kind of things that you're accustomed to do and has created your mechanical process series. And other things that you do when you come home and you talk about it, or you eat together, or you go something. All that stuff that you used to do together had created a certain kind of an order. And that order has become what would give your brain security, because mind finds security in order. Now that the order is broken because she's gone, you kind of don't get the chance to do all the routine that you used to do in the same way. Therefore, when those things are not being done the way that it used to be done, then your order is broken up, because they were creating the order. Now you're not doing that, so the order is broken down. When the order is broken down, the mind doesn't find its security. So it's kind of looking for it. And when it doesn't find its security, doesn't find what was giving him the psychological security, it feels kind of shy and cuddles itself, wants to create that warmth. So what you need to do, continue, as I said, go to the gym, go to your work, go to your projects, get active, be with positive people, and do little things. I don't care what. If it's, make sure when you get up, you fix your bed. God damn it, make that bed the first thing you do when you get up. Because that already sets the standard for the day that I can do something and things look tidy and I can make things happen, and you make yourself feel good. And you gain a certain kind of a confidence because you just accomplished something. So even though so simple, if you have to clean your home, do clean your home. Make sure it's not messy. And all of that will help you to create some kind of energy. And as the time goes by and you create these new things that you're supposed to do during the day, the gym, your work, the friends, and this and that, so forth, these become your new mechanical process. And from that, a new order, a single order, will be created. A new lifestyle, new routine. Takes a bit of a time, but you got to be active to make it happen. Once that new order is created, the mind finds security in order. When mind finds security, you're fine. You no longer feel imbalanced, you no longer feel low mood, and you'll be active because you've now conditioned yourself for certain things that makes you feel confident and good and positive and productive and worthy and, you know, all that. This is your confidence? That's right. So, having said that, that's what you should do. Now tell me you guys hear this other channels. I know you don't. So God damn it, click on like and make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And talk to your friends. Share the video on social media. Get somebody to notice our channel. And do an interview with us about our work. Put us on the map. What else you want me to say? And Helen says, no, Chinu says, 29 male India. Hello, Chinu, Mehran. Why less pain and moved easy who initiated breakup? Because the one who initiated breakup has already figured it out that that's what he wants to do. So he's ready, no surprises. And has been thinking about it and has convinced himself through that time, or herself. And therefore, the one who initiates this is the one who doesn't want it. So he actually is happy that finished with that, because he's been mulling it over in his or her mind. So that's why. Helen says, of course, I drink organic Yogi brand green tea decaf. Oh, good, decaf. The first thing in the morning. Ah, wunderbar. Salut. On that note. Wookie Wookie says, funny name. Still here, sir, just working away with your kind words in the background. Good, 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 good. Keep it going. We're right behind you. Go for it. Don't hold back. You can do it. We know you can, and you know it too. So, Helen says, thank you for your kindness, Mehran. Still listen to our reply chat the other day. Oh, okay. Good. Yeah, I think it's always automatically uploaded. I just make little changes as far as when to be public and all that. Wow, looks like I'll be here for a while. Now suddenly, whoa, we got a bunch of comments and questions. Kenny says, that would be awesome. Sounds exciting. Ah, good. I'm glad you like it. Now, I'm in the process of finding a new name, and I have written a bunch of names. It's quite a bit. So you guys better... Do you guys want me to read some of these names and see which ones you like more? And you can let me know here. There's 13 of us. I'll at least have 13 opinion. So let me answer the questions, and at the end, if you're still here, we'll do that. Abhi says, hello everyone, kindly like share and subscribe, sir. Love you. Okay, thank you very much, Happy. Thank you for the reminder. Yes, please click on like, share, talk to your friends, go in the street, scream. There's a live stream. Okay, now, Super Awesome. Ah, Super Awesome. I know Super Awesome. Yes, Super Awesome. How are you doing, dear? Long time no talk. Last we talked on Skype. He says, hi, Mehran. I'm 25, male from Oregon. Oh, yes. I'd forgotten that. Oregon, where I went to school. I went to Portland. We talked over Skype about my problem. Yes, I remember. I got to see the real person of my ex. Whenever I think of my ex, I think about who she is right now and not who she was. Good for you. That's my boy. Good for you. And he says, thanks to your advice, and I got to see things more clearly. I got to see who she really is. I'm starting to feel glad that she broke up with me. There we go. You're seeing it as you should. No illusions. You're separating the pleasure and the routine and the order that you had created by spending that much time and energy with her from who she is. It's not one and the same. And now that you have separated the pleasure and the other stuff from the actuality of the person, then you have no problem to see it clear and say, okay, that part, the pleasure and all that, I can get that from anybody that actually looks good or somehow meets my standards and or whatever, turns me on or whatever. But the person is the one that I'm actually having a relationship, building a relationship with. And this person, I don't want to make that relationship with her, because that's what I see without the interference of the pleasure and the intimacy and sex and all that, and the things that I've done for her and the energy that I've put into it, without the interference of that person alone, on her own, not meeting my standards. Now you see it clear. I just felt like Darth Vader. Now you see it clear. Do not underestimate the power of the dark side. So there we go. Let me open the window. All right. Super Awesome says, I feel disappointment whenever I think about her. Oh, good. Why do I keep thinking about her? Well, because that's your most recent experience, relationship. And because, heterosexual male, I mean, maybe, I don't know, that's the one I'm talking about. So you guys switch it to whatever your relationship is. Because heterosexual male is often, many times a day, thinks about sex. The default would be thinking about your most recent relationship. So that's why you think of her. It's not because you're thinking of her because she was all that, because you think about intimacy and girl and sex and all that so many times a day because you're a heterosexual male. Therefore, by default, you will be then bringing up the memories of your most recent girlfriend. And that's who she is. That's why. Otherwise, it doesn't mean that, oh yeah, it's a sign. No, it's not a sign. It's not a sign. All right. Helen says, that's why I walk every day for hours. And of course, go to a class like an art class or mini cooking class. Oh, art class is fun. Helps you take away the focus on yourself. Yes. Yes. But sometimes, when you do focus on yourself and consider the information that we are sharing here together, it may actually make you stronger by knowing why is it that you feel the way you do, or you act or react in certain ways and certain things that happen, certain events during your daily life, when you get to the roots of it and understand clearly why, then when they actually happen, you're not surprised and you're not affected, because you know, that's my conditioning. This is why, because this, because of ego. Ego has this job. This because of desire. Desire, and because I'm always hoping and wanting and activity and energy, because that witnesses my existence, desire is responsible to bring energy. And therefore, desire is an automatic happening. And when you understand all these things, then you know why and how they affect you the way they do. Your fears, and when you understand what the fear is all about, how it comes about, how it's affecting you, what it means, and when you think about your thoughts in relation to your consciousness, when you think about the past, you understand the past is dead. The thing that you're thinking about is also non-existence. Therefore, you kind of find yourself free from all. When you think about all these things, you get to know more about yourself. And then when you actually feel free because of this knowledge, then whatever you do, whether it's art or cooking or something, it's not escape anymore. It's an enjoyment with total existence in the present moment. It is not a escape anymore. It is actually by choice, and you're one with that moment as the cooking is happening, as the art is happening. You want, and you're totally with it as like a meditation. And then you'll enjoy it thoroughly, because it's not just, okay, let me keep my mind to this so I won't think about that. No, that has already been taken care of. You understood yourself and you understood why, and then you're free from it, and then whatever else you do just tastes a little bit more better. A little bit more better. A little bit better. I just created something. And Helen gives me lots of heart, and thank you. Green heart. You must be from Mars. And DJJDID or JDJD. Well, okay, I'm not going to pronounce that. If you can't do it, do it. Says, would you rather drink? Oh, we have a troll. We have a troll. Says, would you rather drink pee or eat poop? No, I rather to get you out of here, because you're disrespectful and impolite. Go play in the yard. And and there is again Jay Sned, who is another troll. So let's get rid of these, and just give me 1 second, guys. I need to do something here, if I can make it happen, to get rid of these people who have too much time on their hands. So we'll just simply go on with our schedule. Every time they show up, we just put them on timeout. I wonder what it means to some people who do these sort of things. What fun do they have, actually? It just means they got nothing better to do. But is their life that empty? Maybe they should join us in good spirit and try to kind of be positive. So Helen says, no, Super Awesome says, I feel like I no longer desire her. She isn't the person I thought she was. Whenever I look or think of her, she feel like a stranger to me. Okay, good. Now you got it. Good. It's no longer a familiar experience, a familiar energy. That's good. That's good. Now Helen says, you're right. The first discipline in the morning, make the bed. Yes, correct. Correct. Absolutely. Wookie Wookie says, I heard you. Okay, good, 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 good. Rachel, Isaac. Rachel, is that the first time you're here, dear? Remember, we have that protocol that we need to know how old you are and where you're tuning in from. It helps us to put a little bit of information behind that wordings. I'd appreciate that. And she says, hi, sir, where are the good men? It's up to you to find them, dear. Where you work, where you go to school, what your activities are. Perhaps you can, you know, find things in common with some of them and then go from there. Super Awesome says, how do I stop thinking about her in my head? Don't have to stop thinking about her in your head, but when it does come, recognize that that is not a thought that you would want to entertain, and simply move on to the next thought. There's so many thoughts that the head can produce. Therefore, ignore this one and say, you, I know about you. You're a waste of time. I'm not going to entertain it. I'm not going to go deep into that suggestion by that thought, whatever it is about her. So I have already decided what it is. I've already decided who you are. I've already decided that I'm no longer interested. I know ins and out of it, and I know why you're in my head, because the conditioning that I've received, because I think about sex all the time, and now you're my most recent girlfriend, so naturally you come to my mind. But because I know who you are versus the pleasure, I've separated that, I'm no longer interested to entertain when the thought of you comes into my head. So because you have made all that decisions and thinking, therefore when it happens you say, I've already decided what I do with it, so I ignore it, I go on. You don't have to repeat all these reasons. Just say, I know the verdict on that is to go on and don't pay attention to it. Just like anything unpleasant that when you're walking on the street you happen to see on the side of the street, what do? So that piece of thing, okay, I gotta go check it out. No, you say, okay, I got it, I see it, I know what it is, I move on. Same thing. A thought comes in that is inappropriate or something that you're not interested. So, I know what it is, I've already decided that this doesn't interest me, I don't want to entertain it, so I'll move on to my other things. I pay attention to whatever it was that I was doing, that this thing so rudely interrupted it. So, on that note, you keep going forward. Super Awesome says, I tried to catch up to your live chat a couple times but missed it. I'm thinking I'm doing better compared to last time we talked. Excellent. And you will keep doing better as long as you keep doing positive things in your life, focus on your life, build your life, and keep going forward. The more forward you go, the more busy you are with good positive stuff to build and rebuild your life, the more distance you will create between you and that whatever it was that is already you decided it's no longer pleasant or beneficial to you. And that's good decision. Helen says, Mehran, I will say good night. Good night, dear. I'm looking forward to see you next week. God bless you. May you have more good health and long life. And thank you very much. Same to you, Helen. And I'm not sure. Tomorrow I may not have the live talk because I'm supposed to talk to my programmer, and that was the only time he had. So I had to cancel my live talk in order to schedule him in rather than the other way around. But hey, there we go. That's how it is. Good night, Helen, and thank you for being here. And Rachel says, can't seem to meet anyone that I click with. It's very hard to meet a serious man. I'm in my early 50s. Where are they Where are they? Help me. Oh, I see. Well, I think you perhaps need to find what you're looking for in certain familiar events, some familiar events to you, events familiar to you, the things that you've been doing, so therefore you have certain kind of a trust in that activities, whatever it is, the groups that you belong to or places that you go, activities that you're involved in. I don't know if you play tennis or play some kind of sport, maybe you will find certain kind of a candidates there. But just make sure you do not choose a man based on your interest to find a man. Choose a man based on if they are compatible and meet your standards, not based on, okay, it's better than nothing. Don't fall for that, because then you will be subjected to not a credible or the quality people meeting your standard. So be patient and find them in right places, not places that it's not meeting your standards, so to speak. And Achilles 25 says, yo, Mr. Mehran, yo back, Achilles. And he says, what's going on? Well, not much. It's been, whatever it's been going on, it's been going on for the past 1 hour, 33 minutes and 10 seconds, 11 seconds, 12, 13, and it's counting. Antonia, 51, male, Los Angeles. Hello, Antoine, not Antonia. I always wanted to ask, and maybe you answered this question with someone else. What's your qualifications? How did you become such an expert? Oh, okay. Well, among other things in university, I loved martial arts. So I was short 1/3 credit for that particular semester or quarter. And my roommate was in Aikido, and he said, well, look, I know the teacher who will sign your card, because I was 1 week late for registration when I went home to visit. By the time I got back, it was a little bit, few days after the registration. So I got most of my courses, but 1/3 short for a full load. So I said, okay. So I took that course, and that thing was an eye-opener. It was very deep and very interesting. It was heavy emphasis on meditation, understanding the relationship between our mind and body, and understanding the relationship between the energy of the universe and us, how to harness certain powers that are not visible, and so on. And it was all exciting and intriguing. So I stuck with it and I enjoyed it. And then I continued all my life. And then in Canada, I opened a dojo for just helping people on weekends, you know, renting a place to do that a few times a week. And that wasn't for money, it was just to share the art and help people with their challenges and so on. And that went on for years. And then, of course, through my life, I experienced lots of different things in different countries. And those experiences taught me a lot. And then later on, I stumbled on, when I started the YouTube channel, I helped a bunch of people and made a few videos, and someone that I helped for a month or so from Germany felt very good after a while, and then I didn't hear from him. Then a couple of months later, I got an email, and he said, that was that guy that I helped him. He said, I just wanted to say hello and give you a gift. I think a man like you will do a lot with this. and it was a link. So I opened the link. It was teachings of a master about 100 years ago. And for me, it was like fish to water, because it was answering things that I was actually looking for and was missing in my training in meditation and movement of the mind and consciousness and its relationship with the energy of the universe and all these things. That there were many other things that I wanted, and then I found this link, which, oh, you have no idea, I watched for years. I've never read his books, but I've watched thousands of hours of his lectures, interviews. Psychologists would gather around the world, come to him, along with quantum physics professors, and they would ask their questions from him, and he had never read anybody else's book. He had found and examined, analyzed all these inwardly, the movement of the mind, all these things that we talk about, the fear, desire, ego, pleasure, mechanical process, material process, order, all that, the persona, and so much more that I haven't shared with you guys yet. So the combination of that and my martial arts training and the meditation, heavy emphasis on meditation and understanding the movement of mind, and the personal experiences in life about many different things, including breakups and helping my son at the time, and then other people, and so on and so forth, all helped me to deliver those teachings in a different flow and use that in order to make sense out of it all for people that would have a hard time to understand that teaching, because it wasn't easy understanding all those stuff. But for me, it was something that I just enjoyed it, every bit of it. It's like, I don't know, fish to water, just very pleasant to me to ponder on. Then for many years, then I used to walk by the beach here at nights, late at nights, and record stuff, analyze stuff that I was hearing, the lectures, and then write stuff on it and create things and ponder on it. And then eventually all that made me able to collect all my writings and my understandings and deliveries and write a few books that you now have available on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com. Me, My Psyche, and I highly recommend that book. The ebook is very, very nominal. So anyhow, that's in a nutshell. So hope that will give you something to to as a response to your question. And Antoine says, hope you didn't mind me asking. No, not at all. I've discussed this many times for other people, and so I just shortened it right now. Helen, you're still here? I thought you said good night. What happened here now? You changed your mind now. See? That's a woman for you. They change their mind, and they have all the right to do it. 100 times. Helen says, yes, remember the song? I can see clearly now. Yeah, the rain has gone. Yes, I can see clearly now that the rain has gone. Yes, it's going to be bright, bright sunshine. Yes, I do remember that. Yeah. It was actually, I think it was my school time. I was in college. I'm not going to make a fool out of myself and actually sing it, because I don't exactly have the rhythm in my mind, but I know that one. All right. Robert is here. That's why last time when this guy troll Jay Sned came on, I made a mistake and thought Jack or somebody else knows it, then I allowed the comment, which thankfully the Google monitor, I guess they recognize weird words, and they deleted it, and that was great. Because yours is snedon, and that one is a sned. It's only an O-N missing, so I was confused. And now I can tell the difference. Hello, Robert. How are you, dear? Says, hey, Mehran, 21 from Scotland. And why is the flag black? What's going on? How are you, my fellow friend? Good, thank you. And tell me, why is the flag black? I shouldn't even be awake. It's 5 in the morning. Yes, go back to sleep. Maybe that's why the flag is black. Robert says, Mehran, a random question, but what kind of music are you into? Oh, well. Well, you know, I'm kind of into all kind of music. When I was much younger, I used to be like a disco king. So I liked dancing, and of course, you know, we'd go to discos with the group and bunch of girls and bunch of us, and then other girls in the disco, and it was just my thing. I loved dancing, and so I liked all kind of music because every one of them had a different rhythm, and for me it was just natural, and I enjoyed the rhythm of any kind of music. But I think one thing that I'm not a fan, is the metal music. You know, all those metal, it's just a little bit too much. Sometimes maybe, but seldom, mostly no. But you know, all kinds of disco music, jazz, Gypsy King, old Barry White, Barry Manilow too, possibly that's the slow ones. But Elton John, Beatles, of course. These are oldies, you know. Then Ohio Players, and yeah, there was a music called Skin Tight by Ohio Players. I used to dance to that, and often people would stop and actually watch me dance when I was much younger in the discos. So there you go, you got your answer. Says, have you heard of the band Show Adiwadi? Yes. I think I have. Show Adiwadi. Was that one of the songs that just sounded like this? I'm not sure, because that wasn't the band. That one was is that one? Or the Ramones? No, Ramones. You know, mostly I don't know names. Let's put it this way: I understand rhythm, I recognize music, but I don't recognize the names. I never really learned who played what. Some of them I do. And he says, I'm 21 and love all songs from the 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s. Yes, but 70s and the 80s had the best music. The rest of them I kind of, you know. The 60s, of course, were nice, but 70s, like, yeah, 70s were the best, really. And then some 80s were also great. 90s, not really. They went into some, I don't know, rap and all that. They had no real rhythm. It was just nonsense. And he says, what bands do you know? Yeah, I don't know many bands, pretty much. Maybe some oldies. Now, Salu Berry, Dart Ridiculous. Hello, Dart. How have you been? Salu Berry says, hello, sir. I'm 24 from Minnesota. What do you think about dating single mothers? I don't know. What does she think about it? It's up to you and her. You're 24 years old. I don't think you should be dating single mothers. First of all, they're in a different category of expectations, and rightfully so. They have a child, they take care of that. The child comes first. You may not really be able to kind of like the arrangement that she's not available and you want a girlfriend. And you're 24. I don't know how old would she be. I don't know if she's going to be older or she's going to be younger with a kid. And you're not set up to have to take care of a mother and child. So leave that maybe for older people that they, I don't know, they hit it off okay, or maybe you have finished your university or have a job, and I don't know. But that's a general idea. But then again, there could be always anomaly, and you guys could hit it off and whatever. But it's not going to be easy, especially that child. You know, you can't just go in there and come out, and the child gets used to you, and it's a little bit more than what you should be, you know, focusing on at age 24. You know. So, but anyhow, I don't know. I don't know the other circumstances, so can't really be much help there. Anonymous says, female 27 USA, how to deal with internet addiction. Don't allow anything to addict you. Have enough activities, array of activities on your menu that you would like to do them all, like workout, I don't know, friends, projects, research. Almost anything is with internet right now, but internet for doing nothing, that's a waste of your time. But sometimes it's fun, but should have other things that you want to do, and then attend to them, be active in them, and then you'll have a bunch of stuff, so there would not be enough time or free time or feeling, oh, I'm bored, and then get onto internet, because you've got things happening. So increase your other activities in other fields. And says, I spend so much time online, it affects my relationship, employment, and social life. Thanks. Why would you spend so much time? Are you playing games? Is that what it is? I hope not. Don't spend so much time. What are you looking for? You have a relationship, obviously, and you have employment. What the heck is this for? You just do that when there's, you know, everybody else is busy, or you just want to take a break. But don't let that to become your social life. It's not good. Honestly, it's not good. Robert Snedden says, yes, that's the one. That's one. Oh, is it? The song you just hummed is my favorite one from Show Daddy Wadi. Show Wadi Wadi. Oh, that's what it is. Oh, I didn't know the name of the band. I used to have that on repeat, and I don't know why the flag is black. Okay. I thought you put that in there, because it's part of your typing. It didn't appear. It's not a flagging you, it's just a flag there. Dart Ridiculous is wonderful. Dangleberry. Oh, Dangleberry, that's a new name. Have you been here before, Dangle? Dangle? Or Dangle-san? Dangle-san. He says, hey, Mehran, 43 from Tokyo. O genki desu ka? Watashi no namae wa Mehran desu. Omane kakareto ureshii desu. So, hope you're all well there. And have you been here before, Dangle? Okay, great. Well, you know the protocol. That's wonderful. Okay, good. And we're delighted that you're here. But you know, Dangle, unless you have a question, we're at the end of our show program tonight. And tell me a little bit about you, Dangle, so we all get to know you a little bit. And so next time when we are live, I guess you will be catching our night shows, like this time, which I will have next Friday night, next Saturday night, because we usually have Friday early afternoon, Saturday early afternoon, 12:30 p.m., and Sunday early afternoon. Tomorrow I won't have a Sunday early afternoon live talk, most probably, because I'm supposed to talk to my programmer in regards to my new site. But next week I'll have Friday noon, Friday night, Saturday noon, and Saturday night, and then Sunday noon. And says, I have a question. I'm a champion Thai boxer. Aha. Should look me up. Ah, okay. All right. Champion Thai boxer. Well, you still active, or you used to be? And you live in Japan? Are you Japanese, or you are, what is your background? I know you said Tokyo, but is that your name or is it a screen name? And he says, I still do it, but I just broke my nose. Oh, okay. All right then. Shoot with your question, and then that will be probably our last question tonight. So Dangleberry does Muay Thai. Oh, Dangleberry is a troll. Okay. All right, Dangleberry. Thanks for being here. I kind of had a feeling, but I entertained it as a legitimate person because I just wanted to be respectful. But that is not fun. All right. Wookie Wookie says, thank you again, Mehran. You don't know how bad I felt before I got your notification. Haha, good. I'm glad you feel good. All right, guys. It looks like we hit all the questions and all three trolls. Success. So hopefully that we will not have them the next time, but anytime we do, we put them on notice and get rid of them. So let me just do this, see if I can catch this guy and block him if possible, because sometimes it's hard even to find there it is. There it is. I found this guy. I found this guy now. Well, maybe not. Maybe not be the right guy. All right, let me just say, oh, there he is. Yeah, that's him. Let's block the user. There it is. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for being here. I appreciate it. I had fun. I hope you guys had fun too, and love you all, and look forward to talk to you again. I'm not sure if tomorrow we'll have a live talk or not, but I'll see. If I could, I will. If not, then until next time, be good to yourself and to the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.